We just had a magnitude 4.6 earthquake on the Blanco Fracture Zone off Oregon coast on the Juan deFuca plate. It's a subduction zone on the west coast, as we know, and it's not a small earthquake. It was about 200 kilometers off the coast, and from what USGS tells us, there were about 2 people that reported feeling it, on coast, of course. This is, we'll take a look together at Sizewell Berkeley, but we know that the Juan deFuca plate, the Blanco Fracture Zone, is part of the Juan deFuca plate. It's on it, and it's one of the worst plates in the world. It runs northeast off the coast of Oregon and Pacific Northwest, United States, extending from the Gorda Ridge to the Juan deFuca plate in the north. The Blanco transform zone is approximately 350 kilometers long, varies in width between 20 and 75 kilometers, and we have this quake at the Gorda Ridge. It's right at the Blanco Fracture Zone with the Gorda Ridge. We'll take a look at that on the Google Earth as well. And that's exactly where this earthquake took place. Of course, a lot of earthquakes have taken place there. Most large events in this zone occur on the Blanco Ridge because the motion on this fault accounts for the majority of the plate movement. Strike slip faulting occurs in this area. Motion on the fault is parallel to the motion of the plate. Tectonic activity in the central part of the zone is weaker and deeper than the Blanco Ridge, and typically this activity is consistent with normal faulting. That is, the fault is a planar fraction or discontinuity in the volume of rock across which there has been significant displacement as a result of rock mass movement. Now, although interference with the Cascadia depression spreading center changes the motion on some of the faults. Shallow earthquakes, this was about 10 kilometers, so that's shallow, consistent with strike slip faulting occur in the western side of the zone, but their larger distribution indicates that multiple faults do exist, and they do. We're going to see it very closely on the way there. It's all rigged. It's like scratched, which is all faults, of course. Generally, these faults run along the walls of the bathymetric basin, but near the Juan deFuca ridge, they become distorted and rotate towards the ridge axis instead. And we've had swarms there. We had one last week, and we have one now. Now, they also found last year that there is an underwater volcano there. There is also further out the actual seamount, but this one is a newly found smaller volcano right there. Now, January 9th, 1994, a large series of swarm of earthquakes occurred in the East Blanco Depression, and acoustic signals recorded during these events indicated that an eruption occurrence occurred in this zone. There you go. Further investigation revealed an active hydrothermal vent, the first of its kind to be discovered in a transformed fault zone. March and April 2008, a swarm of moderate earthquakes occurred both near and within the Blanco zone. The swarm began on March 30th when over 600 tremors began occurring north of the zone within the Juan deFuca plate. This was in 2008. On April 23rd, active movement on the Blanco fault zone itself near its junction with the Gorda Ridge. Another series of earthquakes occurred June 2015, spread over a period of few days, and some reached a magnitude of even a 5.8. Well, we've had bigger ones than that recently, but let's go take a look and we'll talk about what's going on there. I was reading from Wikipedia, and this is on the Blanco Fracture Zone, and of course we had the hydrothermal vent, which is of course not surprising because we're talking about an area that has volcanic activity. This is it right here. I just put a volcano so I know at one point in time when something happens to my Google Earth and a lot of my pins just disappear. So I can put on whatever symbol I want. This one today I put on a volcano because there is a hydrothermal vent there. So this is where it is. You can see right there, right at that junction. And you can see how many fractures there are there. It's not just one fault. And this is, let's go in a little bit more. Google Earth has them named as well. You can see them. There we go. That's the Mendocino Ridge. And look at this here, the seamounts. Of course, and I would venture to say that these are all maybe hydrothermal vents or asphalt volcanoes like we have in the Gulf. Look at all these things, obviously. And they make a beautiful line, and there's more of them here. Maybe some here. Other seamounts here. Okay, let's not go into that. But look at this line here. And as we said before, okay, there we go, and that's San Andreas Fault. That's the San Andreas Fault right there, and this is Ridgecrest right here, and that's the Garlic Fault. I'm not going too close, I want to show you what, this is the Walker Lane Fault system. The San Andreas Fault takes 75% of the subduction pressure, and the Walker Lane takes just about the rest of the 25%. And this is what pushes to the Cascadia Arc. It pushes north. The Walker Lane wants to go northwest, and is pushing towards the Cascadia Arc. So, look, we've had a tremendous amount of swarms there lately. Let's go to find our Sizewell Berkeley. Okay, this is our Quake 4.6. Let's take off. Okay, and I like this because it plots everything quickly. This is Ridgecrest. This is west, the southern portion of the San Andreas, and west of the Salton Sea, which is of course another volcano, mud volcano. Ridgecrest, of course, has a magma chamber underneath. It's a volcanic field. They had classified it as moderate threat, but I guess it's still a moderate threat, even though it's surprised everybody. And it seems as if the earthquakes are decreasing, thank goodness. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it seems as if they're decreasing. I'm sure that they don't plot everything here like USGS does. Otherwise it would take hours for this thing to come on. And this is Long Valley Caldera around here. Mammoth Lakes is Long Valley Caldera. Okay, and that's jumping as well. And this is around the area of, let's go a little bit closer, San Francisco. Okay, that's the Bay Area right there, as you can see. It still has a lot of quake swarms in the area where we had the 4.5, and the area where we had the okay, they're close to the area where we had the right here, the 4.7, right around here. Okay, it's still rocking, as you can see. The governor of California has warned people to obtain the earthquake warning application, and they, if you are in a location where you will be shaken, you will be given a notification, and it would give you a 1.5 second to 2.1 second heads up, so that you can take cover and protect yourself, because they are expecting the big one, and everybody out there should have this application, because it's a matter of safety, of course. And let's go now into the details of this. Okay, here we are. We saw it on Google Earth even better. And this is the historic quakes that we saw, that we had. As you can see, that's it right there. Did you feel it? Only 2 people felt it. Tectonic plates. These are our fractures. And US faults. They're all over the place, as you can see, especially here. Okay? But that's the subduction zone. That's one of the worst areas in the world for big quakes, of course. Let's go back a little bit. They don't have any information, but we just read it. Okay? That's it. Basically, that's it. Swarms we read, and we noticed that we had the Ridgecrest earthquake after the Bella Bella, Canada earthquake, July 3rd. 13 hours later, we had the Ridgecrest earthquake of 6.4, and then that was the foreshock of the 7.1 the day later, and it's been shaking since then. And the Ridgecrest, of course, has given Long Valley Caldera a quake swarm, and also Yellowstone a quake swarm. And that's nothing new, because that's what happened 20 years ago, when again Ridgecrest had 7.1 in 1999. Yeah, the Long Valley Caldera had a quake swarm, and Yellowstone had a quake swarm. Because of the fact that the magma body under this area has another arm that extends to Yellowstone through this fault system right there. It's the same body. And, sorry, let's go back. No. A little bit further back. Okay. So you can see the outline. Let's take this off. Okay. That's it right there. That's the same magma body. So that's what happened today. That's surprising. That's quite big, 4.6. I'll leave links below for you for this. And all of you who are there, please be very, very careful, because they're warning people to be alert for something bigger. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.